From the Mainly Golf Show, I'm Jack Milner, joined once again by not the Wet Bandits, the Sticky Bandits.
Good, good.
Magic Man has somehow found a tiger hat from nowhere, Sunday Red. And Mav, you gonna buy the new Tiger's new range, or are you sticking with the low to the old stuff?
Yeah, I'll try to keep remember Tiger as he was, not as he is. Something like
Which Hepsman would think, well, there you go. Your mother can think of me with a full head of hair. It was only 12 years ago, and I'm throwing cheese at you in the conservatory.
that.
Anyway, we're here to
Yeah, I think
preview the
she hates you less now than she did back then.
Yeah, it could get any worse, could it? We're here to have a look at the Memorial Tournament. We'll also have a look at last week, where Bob MacIntyre was a big prize winner on tour. Now, one of us in the group said at halfway when he was tied to the league, going, I actually fancied him this week, despite the fact that I've gone back and looked at the podcast. Bob MacIntyre, Robert McIntyre, Lefty One. None of those names came out of your lips, Mav. So why did you think Bob McIntyre would go well this week?
No, it wasn't that. It was just that if I couldn't pick anyone, I'd have thrown him in as a wild card.
You couldn't pick
Balls.
anyone anyway. You still just picked
No,
a
but
couple of
that's
random
it.
Canadians.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was what I thought was my last resort. But um, no, I
Last result was actually good for the 16 to 1 shots from Doncaster.
yeah. No, honestly, I, I when it's not a major and it's not a signature event, these small tournaments they need the feel good stories to come through. So all full credit to Bob. It's, it's just a funny name, just Bob.
Big
But yeah,
Bob bastard beans.
full credit to him. He did look to a little nervy at a couple of holes in the back nine, but he got it done. And look, the story, his father, caddying, etc. Wow, it's very much a story I think that was needed for the PGA Tour.
Yeah, they were desperate for something, right? Or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
other than Scotty Scheffler or fair enough, Sander Schauffele won his first major, but something with a bit more sentiment to
Well,
it.
if that's what I mean, if Rory powers through on Sunday like he usually does, but if he'd have won the tournament, for example, nah, I just still don't think. I think, yeah, Bob, you've gone out there, you've changed your life effectively, Bob. Now, great. So,
And you'd argue, Marv, the fact that, I mean, some of us can relate to it. You move to a new place, you're trying to build your career, but you're still homesick. Like
yeah,
I remember being so homesick when I moved from Huddersfield out here. It's tough. So the fact his dad sensed like he was a bit depressed, a bit down. Fuck it, I'll fly out for a week. Let's see what we can do. And like straight away, I don't know if you saw the interview with him afterwards. He went, "Oh, you're in the Memorial now. You're in the US Open, the Travelers. We'll see you next week." Went, fuck that. I'm off home. I'm flying back with my dad. We're gonna go have a party at the local golf club.
well,
That's the right
hey,
attitude.
he might never win another tournament on tour, but fair play to him.
He makes it out like he's handicapped, but he was in the Ryder Cup last year.
No, I
He won
know,
three
but it's
points in the
it's
Ryder Cup.
to get you a PGA Tour victory as a European, it's a big thing. Do you know what I mean? You can fall in if you're an American nobody, but because as I said, he's made the move over Twig, as you mentioned. I think that's there isn't many no name. I said no name. He's not a no name, is he? But lesser name Europeans that have done what he's done.
He was one of 10 players at the ranking system of the DP World Tour. If you're on the top 10 players who don't have a PGA Tour card, get like conditional status and get to play a certain amount of. The other one was Ryan Fox, who boy had a 4-shot lead on the turn on Saturday and ended up finishing seventh. But hey, quite the odds first six. Anyway, um, to your point, Marv, he had a 4-shot lead, and the commentator's like, "Who the fuck's this Ryan Fox?" The fact, he's won like four. He won a couple of big tournaments. Did he win at Wentworth 2 years ago? He was in
The
contention at Wentworth.
BMW, maybe was it?
Yeah, I think he was in the clubhouse lead, and Horschel ended up.
Okay.
I think Lowry ended up birdieing like later on to win it, but Fox is like 30th in the world just because he's a New Zealander who doesn't play on the PGA Tour. It's like doesn't exist to them.
Mm.
Bizarre. Hey, what do you make of Bob McIntyre? Did the PGA Tour need that type of different kind of story?
Yeah, I don't know if it was top of my list for stories I wanted to see.
Miserable bastard.
Yeah, I don't know. The Bobby Mack story didn't really do it for me, to be honest. I thought he was going to get done by McIlroy like he did at the Scottish Open last year. Just pipped to the post, but yeah, it was good. It's obviously better than Rory winning, or I don't know who else was
the
up there.
only thing I would
Morikawa, but
the only thing I would mention is at that type of tournament, it was hard for a story to come out. Do you know what I mean? Like I see what you're saying, Hep. As in, because okay, Bobby Max won a tournament, great, but I don't think there's many stories like that really could have come out of that. So I'd throw it up as it was one of the better
I think
stories
you either
possible.
that's true. Like you either want the Canadian to go and win it again, or a complete nobody to go get their card. But as you said,
there isn't many wanting McIlroy to run. Well, yeah, McIlroy running through the field like he does on a Sunday for a top 5 finish. Told you before the tournament, and it'll happen again. But no, you put your money down, didn't you, Najee lad? You put your money down.
Got to pad those stats, Marv.
Matthew, just on Rory, what do you make of Rory? Because I think he shot 2 over. As you alluded to off air. I think he shot 2 over on the Friday, and then he finished with what I want to say 65, 66 over the weekend to finish tied, I think 4th in the end. Without ever really looking like he was going to win. Is that just Rory?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've probably touched on it a lot on the last few episodes, but
Blame Matt for that. Let's hit frozen.
That's where I interject.
Well, Marv, I'll leave it to you two. Go on. With Rory.
No, go on.
Is it just his mentality? Is it? I think. I don't know. When it gets really tough, he doesn't seem to like it. Like he had to battle on Friday. Like I said, 78 yards with a wedge after drilling the hole. He ranked first in driving distance this week, but you can have all the gear and have no idea. It doesn't matter if you bomb in the middle of the fairway. If you can't chip and putt, it's completely irrelevant. And 70 yards in the fairway and to make bogey is for a man of his ability, right? First and foremost, right? For a man of how good a golfer he is, he's just inexcusable. And I think, did we mention the master, right? Butch Harmon fucking slaughtered on commentary. These leads went just, oh my God, what the hell's he doing out there? This is disgraceful. Tell you like it is, Butch.
Look, for me, the short game has never been McIlroy's strong point. When he has a week and he's on it, he is borderline, untouchable. Because that's how much his short game lets him down. But you see, for me, I think Rory's had a reasonable year so far. But the hype, the media, everything, he talks him up as though he's on Scottish Sheffield's level, which for me he clearly isn't. You have to be putting up far more top tens. You have to be. Look, you can't win every week, Rory. We know that. I'm not going to say you should, but you run through the field usually at the end of a tournament and top 5, and it looks good as a finish. But did you really contend?
Well, yeah, he's played 12 tournaments this year. He's made the cut every tournament. He's made 10 top 25s, but I think only that. I think 5 top 10s. And they think the last 2 have been these types of late runs for a top 5 backdoor top 5 finish. He won at Quail he won the Zurich. But if you look at him in the bigger tournaments, in the Players, he finished tied 20th, disappointed the Masters. And you'd say the Players in the Masters, bigger fields, better standard of players, tougher golf courses. Rory's got it that when you're shooting 17 under to win a tournament, okay, that's great. What about when you got to shoot 3 under or 4 under, and it's tough out there? It's different. It's a different game,
and you can't afford a bad round.
That probably leads into this week, whereas Rory had the overnight. I think he had the 54-hole lead for the Memorial 12 months ago. He ended up shooting 6 bogeys on the Sunday. I think he finished tied 7th with 3-4 under par, but 75 when you're the overnight leader. And again, he's not good with the lead overnight. Which again, you compare it to the only two people, the only two names I can think of are Tiger and Scotty, right? If they go into a Sunday with the lead, you think, unless they get shot or arrested or someone's gone out there shooting 63,
Yeah,
they ain't losing.
yeah, they kind of just pretty much certainties, aren't they? It's just, yeah. And again, look here, we are being harsh. You could say we are comparing Rory to Scotty, which is, he's gone on a run like nobody else for the past however many months since Tiger did it. So we're comparing Rory to those two, but that's the thing. Rory has got the if you wanted to build a golfer potentially in the laboratory, give him the type of swing, it's everything. Rory has got everything like that, but so he's just not got the touch and the feel that's needed. I certainly think that he would take losing 10%, 10%, 8 to 10% off his distance off his driver if he had that extra 8 to 10% in his wedge. I think it'd far more compensate, you know.
Let
But
me give you a breakdown. So Scotty and Rory have both played 38 rounds on tour this year. Scotty strokes gained 2.742. Rory is half that, 1.421. However, Scotty's first strokes gained off the tee, 0.947, and Rory's 0.861. Them two are 1-2, and that is as close as anyone gets to Scotty in terms of strokes gained, either off the tee or tee to green, greens in regulation, or around the green. But then when you compare Scotty and Rory strokes gained approach, Scheffler 1.34, Rory 0.45. So Scotty's 3 times the player as he is approach, and then around the greens, Scotty's 0.444 and Rory's 0.10. So Rory and Scotty are very similar, and you probably argue that Rory's length is probably compensated by Scotty's accuracy, but then approach and short game, Scotty gets 4 times as many shots as Rory, which is insane, right? Given the fact that they aren't being held in different regards by the media. People almost put them in a very similar playing field, and the stats say that's not true.
Yeah, you see, I go back to the days of Tiger and Phil, and it wasn't always pretty how they got to the green, but the short game, and wedge game at times was just, do you know what I mean? It was just unbelievable. And you kind of that's it. It's you can be a bit wild off the tee, but yeah, when you start getting close to the hole, kind of the more important it gets. And I don't think it's something Rory will ever have. However much he works on, he's the way he is. I suppose he can't be the perfect golfer, but yeah, that's why he's not progressed in the last 10 years to get that next major.
He's not progressed at all, but we'll see. Anyway, that has been our review of the what was it last week?
Canadian Open.
Canadian Open for Rory's won twice. We'll be back with Hep, who was being kicked out of the room and unable to get back in for a preview.
He wasn't offering much, let's be honest with you.
The preview of the Memorial. We'll be back in a sec. Bye bye. Oh my.